In today's Leeds news, Leeds linked with Fiorentina centre-back. Cody Drama on his way to Luton. New assistant head coach. Weston McKennie update. And Jack Harrison contract talks. Afternoon, morning, evening, folks. Whenever you're watching this, Jer here at The View with your news for the 26th of January. 5 days to go in the transfer window, and a couple of irons in the fire to dig out an old cliche from the past. And we'll get into this. We'll start off straight away. And according to Forenza Viola in Italy, Leeds and Brentford are looking at the possibility of signing Fiorentina defender Igor Julio, or Igor Julio, whatever way you want to pronounce that. The 24-year-old Brazilian centre-back could be available in this window, with Fiorentina open for a move if their valuation of the player is met. He's described as physically humongous. He can play in the left centre-back position or at left-back. He is valued in around 20 million euros, that's about 17 million pounds. Also, interest from Atletico Madrid, Seville, Betis are there as well. He's very versatile. He's a big boy. He's played over 20 times this season for Fiorentina. He's described as a very good player as well. Whether Leeds make a move for another defender, they leave Max Wober at centre-back or move him to left-back and bring another person in, is yet to be seen. I think we're all saying the same thing. We'd like one more defender brought in just to, sort the issues at the back there. Have always made a huge difference, but maybe one more. Moving on, let's talk about Cody Drama. And this is a crazy situation with Drameh over the last couple of months, and it's kind of finally coming to an end. According to Sky Sports, Lyle Thomas and Darren Cross has also weighed in on this as well, and a few other people. Cody Drama is going on loan to Luton Town for the remainder of this season. Leeds will assess the player's future when he comes back in the summer. He has another year in his contract. There was apparently plenty of clubs in the Championship interested in the player, but he's chosen to go to Luton. His medical is set for today, so we could hear more news on that later on today. There's some the interesting thing. I said this months and months and months ago. I think Cody Drama's agent is up there. Chris Wood's agent, one of the hardest working agents in world football. But I watched Joe's show last night, and I would agree with Joe. I don't think Cody's agent is doing him any favours here. I mean, the start of just before the window, his agent comes out and says Dortmund and Newcastle are looking at signing the player. Now, I've watched Cody an awful lot from the 21s this year and last year, and he's a decent fullback. Is he better than what we have at right back? I don't think so. I really don't. When he has played in the first team, he hasn't really shone. He was okay in the second half of the cup game against Cardiff, but then again, that's a Championship club. Also, apparently, he turned down the opportunity to go back to Cardiff. The big thing with me always seems to be Cody Drama. There seems to be a bit of an attitude there, or at least a belief that he's of a certain level where I don't think he necessarily is. You have a lot of people saying he should be in the team, based on nothing. And these are people who don't watch on 21 games in the majority. Some do. But if you watch on 21 games, you'll be thinking he's an average, decent right back. Now, I think does he come back and replace Luke Ayling at the end of the season? That depends on how the rest of the season goes for Luke Ayling. Ayling has forced his way back into the team and is doing really well at right back again. So it remains to be seen. But it's a far cry from Dortmund and Newcastle heading down to Luton Town. Sometimes perception and reality are very, very, very different from each other. Let's get on and talk about the new assistant head coach that caused a bit of story yesterday. Leeds have finally sorted the assistant head coach role, and it's Chris Armas that's coming in. He was assistant to Marshall Red Bull New York, played with him at Chicago Fire, and has been involved with Manchester United as well as Ralph Rangnick's number 2 as well. Got a lot of stick yesterday because I love this. Isn't it amazing how Man United players and Man United fans' opinion means nothing in football until they talk about somebody who's coming to Leeds, and then all of a sudden it matters. Chris Armas has been criticised widely for his time in managing New York Red Bulls and managing Toronto FC. I can tell you from personal experience of being a manager and being a coach in 2 separate roles. They're very, very, very different positions. Judging somebody as a manager and judging them as a coach, you shouldn't do it. Michael Appleton's another example of this. Very highly rated coach. Hasn't really had the success as a manager people think he should have. So it doesn't always translate. Chris Armas clearly is somebody Jesse trusts. The interesting thing about this is, and I'll give this guy a chance, everyone gets a chance when they come to Leeds. I'm not one of these people that's trying to haunt somebody out of the club before they even get here. Jesse's bringing in people he trusts and who can communicate his messages and his vision. Jesse has been backed like no other manager in Leeds in recent history. When a situation where you're looking at maybe 1 or 2 defeats and he could be out of a job, Leeds to bringing in an assistant head coach, giving him the person that he wanted at the start of the season and wanted again. Now, and with the signings that look like they're coming in during this window as well, Jesse's been very heavily backed. That goes two ways. One way is it's great, his manager's being backed. But two, that puts an increasing amount of pressure on Jesse as well because he has been backed. He has all the players that he wanted. He has the coaching setup that he wanted. People giving out again also complaining about the fact that we need another coach, whatever. Bielsa was backed on his coaches. Bielsa had one of the largest coaching staff in the Premier League. So far more coaches than Jesse's dealing with right now. But you need a coaching team. You need to have people around you. The difference with what Chris Armas will do as a coach for Jesse Marsh and what he will do as a manager. As a manager, his job is to create the culture, the style, everything about how the team is going to play, and then communicate that down to his coaches and design sessions and design training to actually train the players to play that style of player, understand what he's trying to get across. The difference with him as a coach is Jesse will do all of that and give it to him to go and run. So he'll essentially be just doing what he's told. He'll essentially asked to run the sessions or come up with variations on sessions to hit a certain style or a certain moment in a game or a certain scenario in a game. So they're very different roles. It's a coaching role. A best of luck, and I would like to wish Chris Armas the best of luck at Leeds, because if he's successful and Jesse is successful, we're successful. So but what I will say is they don't have a lot of time. Regardless of being backed by the board, if they lose to Nottingham Forest, there will be pressure. So fingers crossed for them. Moving on. Weston McKennie, this is the one that's floating around an awful lot over the last couple of days. The latest on this, according to Fabrizio Romano, Leeds' initial bid of €28 million has been rejected. Juventus want €35 million. People online saying Leeds just paid the extra couple of quid. I can't believe we're haggling over 7 million. They're not haggling over 7 million. They're haggling over 35 million. 7 million is part of that. It's like saying to someone, this thing's 500 quid to buy. You're like, well, I've got 450. Well, you don't have 500, do you? So you can't have it. So that, you can haggle all you want. The price is the price. Leeds got to figure out a way of doing this. A couple of different people involved in this as well. There was a possibility yesterday that the deal was actually a £5 million loan fee for the remainder of the season with an obligation to buy with 25 million. That hasn't been confirmed or substantiated by anybody at all. That looks like it was just a bit of a rumour. But according to Gianluca Di Marzio, Leeds aren't planning any further bids for Weston McKennie, but they are staying in negotiations with Juventus to see if the structure of the deal can be rearranged to give Juventus what they want and to give Leeds what they want. It might seem like penny pinching, but €7 million is an awful lot of money when you're dealing with a bid of over 30 million. So don't want to bank up the club either. It has to be done right, it has to be done sensibly, and we've got to think of it as a business as well. So negotiations are ongoing. They will keep going according to Di Marzio, and we'll have to wait and see what happens over there. 5 days left. This could go down to the last couple of days. In my personal opinion, I think Leeds need to move quick and get the feed on ASAP to get this player in. There will be competition for this player. And finally today, we're not talking about the press conference at all today. We're going to leave that and we'll do that tomorrow morning. But according to The Athletic, Leeds are planning to hold contract talks with Jack Harrison as soon as the January transfer window closes. Harrison's been linked with a move to Leicester. Newcastle are also keeping an eye should the Anthony Gordon deal not work out for them. Leeds have a price tag of 35 million on Jackie's head. Whether they can get him or not for that price is a different story. But Leeds are saying that they will look to get Jack into contract talks as soon as the January window closes. He has till his contract expires at the end of the next season. So Leeds kind of running out of time on valuation. Do you want to get some money back for Jackie at the end of this season, or if they want to lock him down, they got to do it quickly. So a bit of work to do there. Remains to be seen. The interesting thing about the Harrison contract thing was this is the exact same story that came out after the summer transfer window. As soon as the summer transfer window was finished, Jack Harrison's agent had flown over. After the mid-season break, Jack Harrison's agent had flown over to Spain to meet with Leeds to potentially talk about a new contract, and it never happened. They could be still in negotiations. You wouldn't know. These things can take a bit longer sometimes, especially when you get over 26. You're looking for some guarantees in your contract as well, because you've not got a huge amount of contracts left. And that's pretty much it today, folks. We are 50 or 60 people off of 5,000 subscribers. So if you like the channel, you can support us by subscribing. Nearly there. We will be doing a transfer talk live tomorrow night. Joe from Just Joe Show will join us, as well as Rocco and a few other people who we're trying to just lock down and get confirmation on. But we'll have a transfer talk looking the window to date and looking at where Leeds go from here. I will see you then. Back tomorrow morning with the news anyway, and then the live stream tomorrow night about 9 p.m. on the channel. I will see you then. Bye.